Hello, how are we doing today? I went and changed my lights and camera angles and everything over the weekend to try something new. It looks like I need to turn on some more lights. Let's see how this goes. Nope. Alexa, set office light to 20%. Let's see if that helps. It's a little bit better. Got a little background glare. I switched around my camera and some of the lighting effects and desktop. I got rid of one of the monitors to hopefully improve some of the lighting. So see how this goes. I'll watch the stream and check, but I can already see some glare coming in. Well, today we are going to talk about user secrets. If you've been watching the stream, you know that we have lots of secrets checked into source code, and it's not generally a great practice. And that's because, one, it was just all file new stuff and not really anything secure. Plus, I didn't want to offer up any really hard concepts, even though this one's really not that hard. You just shouldn't do it. We'll kind of cover the steps. It's actually really easy to do once you get started, and then after that it's pretty much just copy paste. For those of you that are new to the stream or the video, we are going to be going over the contacts application. Just a quick overview of what it was. We started off with this, essentially a file new, absolutely nothing. We walked through the IDEs, Visual Studio Code, JetBrains Writer. We then started out building out models. You can click on a video link here to get a copy of the video hosted on YouTube, as well as the source code for that individual stream. Then worked on the service layer, data layer. If there are any helpful links for that particular episode, they were put into this guide. Here, when we went through the database, we started with Entity Framework. So we put some links in Entity Framework, as well as how we connect in SQLite. We then added unit tests to the project, our data layer, as well as started to expose that via an API. Then documented the API. We then protected the API. Then spent a couple of weeks, I think it was 2 weeks, building out a client layer. So we have an ASP MVC app that you can connect to and check with our contacts. Then migrated over to SQL. Then spent some time moving it to the cloud, added some application logging, added publishing to it. So now whenever we commit, it automatically publishes. And then we wrapped up last week with updating our identity package. So now we're going to go and kind of move the secrets out of the configuration. And what do I mean by secrets? So inside of our app settings file, there are certain things in here that probably shouldn't be in here. More so, the common offenders are your database connection strings. We're using a generic one and the password is not easy to figure out. I'm saying that in jest, but the database is secure, so, and I really don't care if someone adds stuff to it, but it's still not a good practice. So we're going to go and put these in a secure location on the local machine that doesn't get committed to the source code. You're then probably wondering, what do I do in the event that someone else is using it? Well, for most part, local development, you should have connectivity based on the user ID or some sort of shared secret server. So since I'm the only one developing on this app, the secrets will be local on my machine, but you can use something like Azure Key Vault to secure them and provide access to it. And if we have time today, we'll cover Azure Key Vault, but most likely we'll get to that tomorrow. So what do we want to do? First thing we want to do is get these out of here. So introduced in .NET or 1.0, I think, they introduced the concept of user secrets, which creates a separate store on your computer. And depending on whether or not you're on Windows or a Mac, the location differs. Let's swap over to another screen that I have where the locations are. Essentially, it's in your app data / Microsoft / user secrets, and then a directory. If you're on a Mac, it's in your home folder under Microsoft, user secrets, the ID, and then a text file called user secrets. So how do we get started? First thing you want to do is navigate to your terminal, and we're going to stay right within Writer in our particular case, and navigate to the directory. So let's start off with the context application because that one has the database in it. I gotta go source / context.api. Now I'm in here and I can double check to make sure that the secret file is, or not the secret file, but the app.json is in there, and it is. So the first thing we want to do is initialize it. So we start off with .NET. We're going to use the .NET tool, and then user-secrets. This one's going to be hard to remember, and then init. So run the .NET tool, then run user secrets, the user secret tool, and then tell it to initialize. So I do that. You see here, it generated a globally unique identifier, or GUID, 2F197 blah blah blah, and a location for it. It didn't update. This is not where it's stored, but this might modify the context app.csproj. And what it did in that file was tell it what the actual secret ID is, so it knows where to look it up, and you can tell that right here. So this ID here, 2F17 blah blah blah, should match the one down here, which it does. So that means if I navigate over to that folder, which on the Mac is .microsoft, which is here, and you'll see there's a user secrets 42F. That's not right. Wasn't it 2F? Oh, it initialized it but didn't create it because there's nothing in it yet. I get the directory right. Yeah, this one was created a while ago. Probably because I didn't add anything to it. But let's add a dummy secret to it right now. So we want, what do we want? Connection strings, right? So we are going to initialize that with .NET user secrets. And then call the set command and the type of the secret you want. So this is based on the kind of folder path or the object path that's set here. So if I wanted to change this allow host, I would just put in the allow host. Since I want to set the context database SQL server one, you have to do that in a, for lack of a better word, colon syntax, so to speak. And I don't know if there's another term for it, but that's what I call it. So connection strings, and then context database SQL server. So that should change this And then here you would give it the value. So I'm just gonna put in value from Joe, and we're gonna see that this is actually set. And then tell it what project we're part of. So in this case, it's project. Actually, I don't think I have to tell it the project because it's in this folder, but just in case, I'm gonna do context.api.csproj. I think it needs that if there's more than one project in the directory, so it knows what app ID to pull out. So if I hit enter and got the command correct, yes, set it successfully saved this secret here. So granted, you don't want to do that from the command line, especially when you're in on a stream, because everyone's going to see this. But let's go double check that that's there. And if it is there, we're going to go and copy out all the secrets from here and paste them in. So now we look at our folder and we see a new folder there, that 2F197 blah 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 that was done today. And if we go here, we should see a secrets.json file, and I'm just going to open it up with, get rid of that. Let's do it with Visual Studio. Oh, Visual Studio Code's not on here, so let's just do text edit. And there it is. So now our secrets are there, and the value is value from JoeG. So now I can go and edit this file, which I am going to copy. Actually, I don't need to copy it off screen because right now we are just going to copy everything here in our development that is not secure, which should be everything here. I'm going to move this to the bottom just for organization's sake, although I thought I already did that. So these are the items that we want to be secure. For this particular one, the Azure AD doesn't matter because you need that client ID and it's transmitted over the web anyway, so everyone knows it. The same thing with the application insights key, but just get in the habit of doing it. It doesn't hurt to keep them in there. So let's go and copy that out to this file. Now, if you notice, this file doesn't follow the typical syntax. It's more this kind of colon syntax. So I'm going to have to copy and paste this out for all of them. You can do it via the command line. And if you're using Visual Studio, there is a tool that lets you do that directly. I think you can just right click and choose move to secrets, but I could be wrong. I did download a plugin for Writer that supposedly fixes or that does a lot of this, but I haven't tried it out to see if it works. So let's get this in here. I'm going to put a comma there. And then this should be settings, colon. Let's get rid of view. Another comma there. And then connection strings we already have, but we don't have this one, even though that one is blank right now. We're still going to add it here. So let's do connection strings. And then we should be good. You're the last one in there, so you should be good. And voila, it's done. Now that doesn't mean that we're done. We still have to load these files here. Luckily, we don't have to do the work of parsing. There's some extensions to do that. Another thing, at least the last time I worked on it, is you still need those configuration items here, but they can all be blank. So I still need these here, but these, like I said, can all be blank. So, I'm doing it, what am I doing? I want to do it here. So that doesn't matter. I can do it in both app and prod. But I need them to still all be blank. So let's copy you out and put you in here. And you are complaining, but that's fine. And let's just make this blank. Okay. The value doesn't matter. You can actually put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. The key is that this structure has to exist, otherwise the settings fail. And then let's kind of delete you. Now there's no more secrets in there. And we still have them in here, but we'll fix that one. Actually, are they even in? No, because we're using the... Oh yeah, it does exist here. We can fix that one later. So now we have to actually use it. So to start to use it, we have to add in a Nuget package. So we want to do Microsoft.extensions. Extensions.configuration.user secrets. And we want to put that in the API. And we're going to put that in the web UI while we're at it. Only because I know we're going to do it anyway. Okay, that's step one. Step two is actually telling the configuration to look at the secrets file too. To do that, we need to go to our startup where the configuration files are loaded. So we don't see anything here. That's because actually I think they're done in main. Where are they done? Da, 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 da. They are done in the main. Let's find that example. Sorry, I thought I had the example loaded up on the screen, but I don't. I'm just reading it. Thought you had to tell it to get the configuration for it. I guess it does it automatically now. It used to be where you had to tell it to load that. Oh, easy way to check. Let's put a breakpoint here at the API in the startup and check right here. And let's debug this bad boy. See what happens. Move my primary Twitch screen over that way so I can see if someone's chatting. So if you see my face move a little bit, that's kind of why. Let's see, in which app did I start? Oh, I started the web UI. Stupid me. I wanted to start this, the API. So let's wait for the API to start, and I should hit the breakpoint here. So now if I look at settings, we see we got that settings there, even though it was blank. But let's take a look at the configuration. What do we call it? Let's see, we got configuration dot get. What did I put it in? Context database SQL server. This should say that value dot get connection string. This should return back value. There we go, value from JoeG. So it pulled it from the secrets file and no longer in that. So we can stop you. We don't need you to run. And I just deleted that secret from everywhere, so I don't have the database connection string anymore. So the app's not going to run. Not cool, Joe. Let's see. Where do you go? You're here. Actually, I think I added it here. I needed to connect for something. Yes, I did. So let's just copy out that text. Doesn't matter, these names are going to be changed now since the password has been shared and saved on the stream. I'm going to change it afterwards, but I still want the data to work. Now you might be saying to yourself, yeah, Joe, this is great. I can secure this password, but it's not really hiding it from an engineer. That's true. As you saw here, I can hit a breakpoint and read the permissions. This is not meant to keep it super secure, especially in a development environment. When we're in prod, we're going to add it to the Azure portal itself, so we are not going to have it. So we're going to publish just this blank app settings file, and then in Azure portal we're going to add in all of these secrets. So as an administrator, you can change the user ID password for prod and not have your engineers worry about it, or QA or anyone see it. So that being said, we are done with that. One of the easiest things we've done on the stream, and it worked on the first shot. Yay. And I didn't even practice this either, which is good. So that is that. How do we go and add that to the server? So it kind of runs the same steps. So if we go to portal.azure.com and log in. Ooh, I have free recommendations. Yay me. And go to, this one was the API. There is a configuration section here, which I think we might have used in the past. So we have the instrumentation key set up. We don't have to do that. We probably want to add one anyway, because when we start using the JavaScript, it makes it easier if they're all in one place, but we can go back and forth. The connection string is already in here, so we don't have to change that one. We really just want to do any of the settings, and I don't think there is an easy way to do them except for copy and paste. So essentially what we do here, oh, there's an advanced edit. Oh, sweet. So with the advanced edit, I guess I can just go and kind of copy paste them and make it look like a value here, or I can just do new app setting and then copy this over. And then copy this over. Actually, that one I don't need. I need this one. Azure instance. And then URL. Hit OK. And then next one, Azure AD domain. Azure AD domain. There might be an easier way to do this. I just don't know what that is. So we are going to do the painstaking thing, copy paste. Good news is you only have to do this once. But now no one knows what our secrets are, at least not in source. They have to be able to get into our Azure account, which is not typically something everyone has access to in order to do this. You might have noticed that there is something called deployment slot settings. That is if we have deployment slots enabled. Now, the next question is, what's a deployment slot, Joe? We haven't covered this, mostly because I'm using the free plan and we haven't gotten there yet. But you have the ability within Azure App Service to have more than one slot, typically two, to put code in. So think of it like a dev and a prod, or I'm going to try this out and this is what everyone sees. So you can have two slots. So I can push code out to a URL on our server and then try it out once everything is working, flip a switch and say this is now the production instance that the public gets to see. And that allows you to do some testing of everything. You also see here that there are different sources. You have the ability to indicate whether something comes from Azure Key Vault or the new Azure App Config service, which allows you to pretty much have one centralized spot for all your connection needs. Now, if I publish this, everything should be good. Ooh, I think I messed up this part. So for prod, this, or for dev, this should not be the case. For dev, it should be server is local. This should be just dot. Then everything else is the same. And I'm going to change the user ID passwords after. So let's just make sure that it works now. Let's start U out. And then we're going to start the UI up. That worked. Now I'll start the UI. You might notice that I got rid of one of the bugs with the behavior. I thought I got rid of one of the bugs with the behavior. Or did I not? Oh, I didn't start it yet on this machine. That's why. My bad. This bug should go away. I cleared that. So now we're using the token storage for it in the database. And before it was using, before I had the connection set to Azure, so it's just going up? Why did you fail? Read async, which probably means I got the database. Did I not start the database again? Come on, Joe, it's like your 17th time doing it. Nope, database is started. Well, what am I missing? What am I missing? The connection string right? Oh no, .s. Save. I didn't hit the save button correctly. So let's refresh this bad boy. I had the connection string wrong because there was an S in there because I went to hit Command S to save it. Instead hit Option S, which just added an S to it. So let's go here, go to home, and make sure you are working. Go to home and make sure you are working. Is it even loading? Where are you? Oh, I gotta hit click contacts, make sure you are working. Let's see if there's anyone chatting in this stream. No one's chatting. Bummer. Invalid status code. What did it break? Let's go debug. I swear I tried this out before, or at least the connection's working because I made some connection changes on a different machine. So let's stop you and let's debug you to see what I did wrong. We're not getting a user error. Yeah, remove that breakpoint. We don't need it anymore. So hit that run button. One day I'll remember that, but 17 years of clicking that in Visual Studio caused me to still want to do it in Writer. Where'd you go? Here you go. Contact. Guess I just had to rerun it. I didn't do anything different. What did I do? I did nothing different. But now it's working. Let's just make sure that's different than the prod one. Make sure we're connecting locally. CG coding with JoeG. We should have different. Apologize for the dog barking. Someone must be getting a delivery. If this works, we shouldn't have a Brian here unless I copied Brian out prior to when I was synchronizing databases. Okay, click on this. Error occurred. What did the error happen? What did I do? What did I do? Oh, I changed the changed all this, but the server itself should be right because I didn't change the actual value of that, and so it should just take that one. But when we publish it, it'll be better. We're just looking to see that. So the next change would be to do the same thing with this. Oh, while we're here, let's see, there is a tool. Let's see where it is. Under tools, edit. I'm not sure where it is, but I did add a tool within Writer that allows me to see. Here it is, open project user secrets. And this should just open up that JSON file here within Writer that allows me to edit it. Now let's close all of these windows. Open up you. And where are you? Right there. So I'm just going to close the other windows. This one's a lot of the same that we want to do, except for these couple. This is probably why it wasn't working before. I just saw that problem. Okie dokie. So what do we do here? Let's go back to terminal. Let's change back to contacts.web UI, and then do a user secrets init, and that created new user secrets. And then let's just give it a dummy value, and then we can copy out just about everything, but I'm going to copy and paste, or copy this. Oops. Can't do that totally because I forgot to change this to web UI. Now it added. So let's go back to our Finder window, and I'm guessing, ooh, why does that have all that in it? It has a lot of extra stuff in it. So let's open you with text edit, and we have a new value in it. Let's go and copy all of you just because we're lazy, or at least I'm lazy with this stuff. And then we are going to need to add in all the others. So let's go and do this part here. I'm just copying and pasting them from here so that we know what we need to add. So there's no, the app insight key is different. So let's go and copy you, paste you in there. And then we need to add two more settings. So settings, colon, and then space, colon, dot, dot, comma, and let's just copy and paste this. Those watching the stream must be like, all he does is copy and paste, and he gets paid for it. At some point in your career and development, you realize that a lot of what you do is copy and paste. You just have to know where to copy it from, and where to paste it to is the hard part in a lot of cases. But I also have someone that would say, if you have to copy and paste, you're doing it wrong. And that's true when you're writing unit tests and other things. If you're copying and pasting code, it's probably not a good thing. It means you can reuse some stuff. What did I break up? And then copy this, paste that there, and let's get you over. So now our settings are good. We just need to make sure the Azure AD stuff is good. Let's see, this one should be good. This one should be good. This needs to change. And then we have Azure AD client secret. And that is this. I don't know if we need the tenant ID, but because that's in our configuration, I am going to add it because I don't want it to break. Then now we need to add the Azure AD callback path. And then the Azure AD. Oh, I'm not typing that one because I'm going to get that wrong. Okie dokie. Now let's copy you out. Let's copy you out. And copy you out. And that should be it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are good to go there. Now, that should be it for development. I got it correct. So let's close you two bad boys out. Or I probably shouldn't have closed. It's a different thing. Need you open for a minute. Where did you go, Finder? We're going to want to keep you open for a minute. First, we're going to copy and paste that into Azure at some point. So let's just move you over. Now we can go in. Am I in that was regular settings. Oh man, are these two different? I don't remember if they were different or not. Let's just move you to the side and see. Split and move right. Yes, they are different from development and production, which is awesome. So let's go and move these client ID and secrets. I'm going to copy all those out. I was just reading the others to see if I needed to copy the others. So I need to change client ID. And client secret. And then tenant ID should still be the same. So that is that. So now our development secrets should match, and I'm going to have to go and do the prod ones next. So let's double check to make sure we all work again. And I think they're all running. So let's just do a stop all. Start you. Then start you. And we should be good to go at some point. That happens occasionally on my machine if I hit the play button too quick when the other process isn't started. Or I got another problem. What is wrong? Something's wrong with the JSON. Yep, something's wrong with the JSON. What did I do wrong? An extra comma there. Server, comma, 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 chameleon. They come and go. Bet you didn't think you'd hear any Boy George on this stream. But my JSON was invalid. And as soon as I say comma more than once, comma chameleon pops up. Let's hit play. There we go. Now let's view contacts. And that first negotiation is so slow. Yay. So we are working. Now we put our secrets away and they are in a separate file off on a machine where no one can ever see them again. Now we'll just have to clear them out of source control and then check them in and push them up. I am not going to, I'll clean this one out. Just because we did that on the stream, but I'm going to want to do the Azure ones because I have to go to Azure portal and you've already seen that, so I'm not gonna bore you with that again. So next steps would be for me to check in the code and everything to launch up. Actually, this I can keep here just to see it because it's not really a secret. But it's helpful to know. But I guess to be consistent, let's take you out, take you out, and take you out. I will be changing the passwords too before I push this live, so it's kind of, don't want to do that while we're streaming because then there's a recording of the password. So that's all I had for today. Any questions or any feedback, feel free to reach out to me on any one of these social media streams, Twitter, jguadagno, or jjg.me/jjgnetfb for Facebook, or leave a comment on the video on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you learned something. Have a great day, evening, morning, night, depending on where you are. Bye.